Hello and thank you guys for tuning back into Jarmor Gaming. So today I'm going to bring you a video about the Grau, and I think it's one of the most overpowered loadouts in Call of Duty Warzone. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they nerf it. So I'm just going to go over what I've got set up for it. It certainly helps me within the game. So let's just jump straight in. So first of all, you want to go for the muzzle. You want to go for the monolithic suppressor. I mean, let's be honest, you want to go for that in basically most of the guns you're using on Warzone. It takes a little bit of grinding to get there, but you know, with being the last one in the muzzle category, but get that on there, and that's gonna sort out your sound suppression. So obviously you're not going to be spotted by enemies on the radar. Gives you that little bit extra damage range, which I think is really important. Yeah, you lose a bit of aim down, sight speed, and walking steadiness, but you know, you're going to get that with a lot of the things in this class that are on the sort of suppressor front. Okay, then for the barrel, you want to go for the Tempus 26.4 Archangel. Definitely best one out there. As you can see from the stats, it increases your damage range, bullet velocity, recoil control. Again, you're losing a bit of aim down, sight speed, but with this gun, you mainly want to be using it for mid to long range. It is like a laser. There's just no recoil on it once you've got this class set up. Some people go and use the tac laser just to give them even more aim down, sight speed. A lot of people use it as a kind of instead of the rear grip. I don't, because I'm not a fan of the lasers, although I like the aim down, sight speed, and I like what it does there. I don't like that if you know, generally you want to probably on Warzone, you want to be playing attacking, you know, sort of an attacking game, going in there and sort of trying to get the high ground and so forth. But the laser, if you do find yourself stuck in a building, or you know, you're trying to get your squad back, you can't aim down the sight without obviously it giving away where you're looking. So I personally don't use a laser, but it is something that some people like. I've also read with the optic, a lot of people are using this BLK 3x optic. Again, I find that I'm so used to not using an optic, I find it harder now using an optic because of the zooming in. I prefer it just to be the iron sights, and with the Grau, there's so little there, I just find it so easy to use. So again, I wouldn't put it on, but again, it's personal preference. If you want an optic, I'd go for that. Then for the underbarrel, we're going for the Commando foregrip. This I just think helps. Doesn't take away any aim down, sight speed, just purely movement speed. But you know, you've got the recoil stabilization and aiming stability, which is really important. I definitely recommend putting that on. 60 round mags, I definitely recommend going for higher mags. Perhaps if you're in a duos or a trios, you get away with 50, perhaps give you a little bit more mobility. I go for 60 because I just get used to it. I find it really hard to switch between guns that have different mags. I'll end up thinking I got 60 bullets, I'll try shooting someone, realise I only got 40, and I find myself in a sticky situation when I'm not always reloading quick enough. And then the rear grip, you want to be going for the Chrono Sniper Elite. It's going to give you that extra aiming stability, aim walking steadiness. Again, you're going to lose a bit of mobility, but I would always recommend, if you can pick up like an SMG in the game to accompany this. I mean, on my perk, my class, sorry, I do have an RPG. That's just because I find it handy if you've got a chopper coming towards you, or just sometimes it's handy to use. I often find that if I've got a different gun, sometimes I'll spend so long switching between them rather than actually concentrating on killing the enemy that I struggle a bit. But I definitely recommend, if you've got this on the Growl and you're good with an SMG, perhaps if you can pick one up, or if you want to run overkill, not a problem with that. I personally run Ghost because I don't like being located on the UAVs and things, but I'd certainly recommend overkill is not. It depends on how attacking sort of play you want to play. If you're really aggressive and you don't mind people coming after you and that's your type of gameplay, I just run overkill. If you're more like me, I do like to attack, but I like to not be found before I attack. Then I'd go with that. Okay. In terms of my perks, I run cold-blooded just because the sniping on this game, I hate being seen so easily. But that's just me. I am tempted to go to EOD. I'm kind of, they're my two that I'm stuck between. I seem to be getting blown up quite a bit with C4s at the minute, so EOD might be a shout. Ghost, in my eyes, for my type of gameplay, you got to run Ghost, but that or overkill, I think the main two perks you'd use here. Again, a lot of perk 3 is personal preference. I tend to go for amp because if I get second loadout, I'll tend to go for a sniper, so I want to be switching between my sniper and my AR quickly. In terms of the RPG as well, if you are running an RPG like me, obviously you're going to get that reload speed, which is quite important. Few people I know use tune-up just for the revive time. Often I don't find myself in a situation where I'm being revived where it's time crucial. You're either, you've either wiped out the squad and you're then reviving, or they've been finished before you get to them. So I kind of probably would avoid that. Tracker can be quite good if you're trying to go for a stealthy mode, but I find myself spending so long chasing the footprints that I end up not seeing anybody. I just seem to be so set on following the footprints that when it comes to trying to kill someone, that it's not ideal. But yeah, so that's the best Grau loadout I can recommend. I'll show you a little bit of footage of me using it after this. I haven't got lots of footage of me using the gun, just because I always forget to record what I'm doing. But there is a little bit that's gonna follow this, so feel free to check it out. Thanks.